Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for requesting this private session that Tanya and I are getting ready to do. We are going to be working on, what would you like to work on? Scarcity of time and anxiety about it?
Yes, that's what showed up at the podcast. So yes, let's work on that one.
Perfect. So how I like to start this is to just have you kind of like spill what's in your head about how you feel about anxiety and time. So, and like the most negative thoughts possible.
There's never enough time. That's like
Okay.
the main thing. I feel like the bunny in Alice in Wonderland.
Okay. Never
Um,
enough time. What else?
I don't know. That's like the
Are there
main
times that
one.
it comes up for you? Like, are there times when you really feel stressed for time?
Yes, it comes up in preparation, like with the family, like if we're going somewhere, especially with my daughter, with my 10-year-old, it's, like, okay, we have to get ready for school or we have to go somewhere or it's time to get to bed. And so I start stressing out because of the bed routine, because that's such an important time for me at bedtime that I'd rather be reading a book than having to put my 10-year-old to sleep instead of just saying good night, give her a kiss. And it's like, no, can you sit here? And then we start dragging everything, and something that could be done in 10 minutes, it's like a 40-minute ordeal.
Is there any guilt also in addition to that? Like feeling guilty that
Yes.
you don't want to sit there and do whatever it
Yes,
is that she wants to
absolutely.
do?
I take full responsibility on that one.
Okay.
I just admit it. I don't like putting her to bed. It's not my time. I operate the best in the morning. That's
Yeah.
my zone of genius. So when it comes to bedtime, and sleep is so important to me, and especially these days, perimenopause, trying to get sleep, which doesn't come as easily as I'd like it to. It's like, yes, I feel guilty. I feel guilty, because then like my husband will start saying like, oh, you're gonna miss these years, of wanting to put her to bed. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, that might be for you. That's not for me. I will not. I'll miss other things, but I'm not gonna miss putting her to bed. And I don't want to create that reputation, which I think that's what she's growing up with right now. Of like, oh, the nights that mom puts me to bed, are like the worst nights. So there is
Do you
a
and your
guilt
husband
trip
take
with,
turns?
yes,
Okay. So you think that she doesn't like it when you do it as much as when he does
yes,
it?
yes. He's
Okay.
much more playful, more fun, and more relaxed about it. But because he stays up later at night, it works easier for him.
Is there an inner critic kind of voice inside of your head, like, oh, I'm no fun, or
Yes, yes.
what else does that voice say to you?
I would say that I'm not as playful as him. I'm not as fun. I'm more serious. I'm more the disciplinarian in the family. Um, why is it that I want my sleep and I can't enjoy this moment with her?
Okay. If you didn't have this feeling of anxiety about scarcity of time, what would you be doing differently in your life? Or what would feel differently?
I think I'd just feel more relaxed. I feel like I'm more uptight with everything.
Okay. Right. Let's dig in and see what we find. So the first thing I want to do, and for those of you who are watching this recording, it's going to be like follow the leader. So, you're going to follow along with me, and anybody listening is going to follow along with me. And we're going to give a rating to start on how we're feeling about scarcity of time. So I use a subjective units of distress scale, just like you would use at the doctor if you were rating like back pain or something like that. So 10 is the worst, 0 is it's not a problem at all. So on a scale of 0 to 10, how do you feel when you think, time is really scarce and I'm anxious about it?
I tend to be around a 7, maybe.
Sure. Great. So I'm writing that down for you. Anybody else, write it down for yourselves. We have a tendency to discount how much of a change can happen in a short period of time. So we're going to start on the side of our hand, and I'm just going to ask you to take a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just get that feeling of kind of coming back into your body and feeling these feelings that you have about this time scarcity and anxiety. Repeat after me. Even though I feel so anxious about time,
Even though I feel so anxious about time,
I want to love, accept, and forgive myself.
I want to love, accept, and forgive myself.
Even though this anxiety makes me feel so uptight.
Even though this anxiety makes me feel so uptight,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And even though there just never feels like there's enough time,
And even though it feels like there's never enough time,
I'm open to the idea that I can create more spaciousness with time in my life.
I'm open to the idea that I can create more spaciousness in my life.
We're going to go to the top of the head. There's never enough time.
There's never enough time,
Especially when it comes to getting my daughter ready for school,
especially when it comes to getting my daughter ready for school
or getting Isla ready for bed.
or getting Isla ready for bed.
And it really stresses me out.
And it really stresses me out.
It makes me feel grumpy.
It makes me feel grumpy.
I'd rather be doing something else.
I'd rather be doing something else.
I feel guilty.
I feel guilty.
I feel guilty feeling like my time is wasted
I feel guilty that my time's wasted
and that I'm not enjoying these moments with her
and that I'm not enjoying these moments with her
the way that another mother might,
the way that another mother might,
or the way that my husband seems to enjoy them.
or the way that my husband seems to enjoy them.
I'm not playful enough.
I'm not playful enough.
I'm too serious.
I'm too serious.
I'm the disciplinarian.
I'm the disciplinarian.
And I don't always like being in that position.
And I don't always like being in that position.
It makes me feel rigid and uptight.
It makes me feel rigid and uptight. It
Makes me feel like I'm always going against the flow.
makes me feel like I'm going against the flow.
Open to the idea that I can release some of the stress.
I'm open to the idea that I can release some of the stress.
That most of it is self-imposed.
That most of it is self-imposed.
And that maybe I even waste time on my own,
And that maybe I even waste time on my own,
worrying about how much time things are taking,
worrying about how much time things are taking,
instead of just relaxing and going with the flow.
instead of just relaxing and going with the flow.
Clearing this anxiety down to a cellular level,
Clearing this anxiety down to a cellular level.
clearing the idea that time is scarce,
Clearing the idea that time is scarce.
opening up to the idea that I can actually do so much more when I slow down.
Opening up to the idea that I can do so much more when I slow down.
It seems counterintuitive, but it's true.
It seems counterintuitive, but it's true.
My nervous system really likes it when I slow down.
My nervous system really likes it when I slow down.
And from that place, I feel so much less anxious.
And from that place, I feel so much less anxious.
All right. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. What feels different for you now?
More space, more time.
All right. Where do you feel like you are on that scale of 0 to 10 now?
I feel like I'm at a 3 or a 4, even though I'm running late for another call and I'm not even caring about it.
You have another call right now.
But see, I was getting in that place of being worried about it, and I'm like, it's okay because Kristen might not even be looking at the time, and I can talk to her, so it's fine.
Isn't
So
that
I
beautiful
feel
that we got to do that right in a moment when you were worried about time scarcity?
yes,
That was
Yes.
perfectly aligned and right on time. And we cut it in half in whatever that was, just a few minutes time. And I was trying to do it quicker for you because I knew you had a meeting to get to. So
That's
thank you
fine. No,
all for tapping along with us. As I always say, if you got a result from this, if you want to share, shoot me an email, Theresa@TheresaLearLevine.com. I love to hear about your before and after numbers and what shifted. Would you like to give your email address too, in case people want to tell you about their results?
yeah, you could email me at Tania, which is with an TANIA at the Courage to Be Happy.
Thank you, Tania. I appreciate it. And thank you all for listening and tapping along with us, and have a great day.